All right, sorry, I am a little late today. You know how it goes, mom life, right? Okay, so today we're talking about healthy travel tips. I picked that topic because as we're getting into our routine of the fall, I don't want to say it's fall yet because it's still, well, it's a little cloudy today, but still really warm out, still enjoying the sun and kind of the summer vibes. But as we're getting back into the fall, we're getting busy and we're heading into the holidays and work is picking up. You're in Q3 pretty soon. Yeah. So you're kind of rounding everything out. There are a lot of business trips coming up for a lot of us working moms and a lot of family trips, people going back and forth to visit cousins and aunts and uncles and parents and grandparents. So this won't be focusing on like vacation travel. This is focusing on business travel, how to stay healthy while you're doing your mom thing and life is just coming at you. Okay, so first we're going to start with packing. My tip, I'm laughing, I'll tell you why, but my tip is get it done. So pick a time where you can get it done early. Give yourself a day or even two so that you don't forget anything, and make a list. And make sure that not only are you packing your underwear and socks, and if you're taking the kids with you, whatever millions of things those kids need, also your snacks and your food and a plan for all of that. So start with a list. Make sure that you have all of the kids stuff in there too, because for us it's like white noise machines. The okay to wake alarm clock is huge. When we forget that, we're like, oh, why are you out of bed? So making a list is big, and it keeps you sane, and that is part of healthy travel, because we want to kind of decrease that stress as much as possible, not only for like our cortisol levels and just general well-being, but because that leads to snackiness and poor sleep and all of that. So we want to manage our stress and anxiety. So get in early with packing. I'm laughing because I'm leaving tomorrow and I haven't packed at all. I'm leaving with my toddler, or he's not a toddler, is he? He's 3.5, with my littlest. And so I have a list, but man, I have a lot to do. So I'm going to be up probably kind of late tonight, which is not ideal, but I'm going to work on that. So next is packing your food and just like getting to know what you're going to be doing. So plan ahead and think like, what am I doing? How's this going to look? And I don't really know how my plan is going to look. For example, we're going to Boston for a wedding to see our awesome family. And I don't really know what my days and weeks are going to look like, or not weeks, we're only there for a few days, what my days and hours are going to look like there. I know there's going to be a lot of kind of going from one place to another. I don't want to get hangry, and I don't want to just be forced to grab whatever is in front of my face. And I know we pack for our kids because we don't like hangry kids either. So take that time to also plan for yourself. For me, I like a protein bar, a Lara bar, a Kind bar. I like the Isogenics bars. There are ones that I like. And so I pack those and I make sure that I have enough on me where I can kind of break off pieces here and there. I can either have a full one for like a lunch if I'm really kind of missing things, or if the only option is like super unhealthy and I know that I'll still like it and it'll feel kind of like a treat. Like those Lara bars are like super good, some of them, and the Isogenics bars are like a chocolate crispy Rice Krispie treat. So those are good. It's not always what I want for lunch, but it is better than stopping at fast food. So I plan, I always have a lot of those on me. I usually take a few little like protein shake packets, not just for me, the kids like those too. So those are a really good thing to take with you. And those shaker bottles, make sure that they're closed, because sometimes they can leak. That has happened, but they're also a good just water bottle to have, and staying hydrated is my next tip. So I pee a lot. Is that TMI? Probably. I pee a lot. I like I have to go to the bathroom all the time. It's probably because I'm well hydrated, but it's also because I think I just have like small bladder or whatever. So I tend to want to not drink water when I'm on a flight or in a car, which is not a good thing. So plan your hydration. I keep a water bottle on me when I travel. I probably don't hit it as hard as I would when I'm not traveling. I definitely don't, because I hate airplane toilets, but I use them. So stay hydrated. That's the next big thing. As much as you can. I know it's tempting to dehydrate yourself, and that's like a little bit okay, but try to at least stay a little bit hydrated. Bringing like a nice water bottle is a good way to do that. Travel day exercise is a big one. So I like to get in a workout before I leave. And I like to get the kids running around. That helps get them tired so that they're easier to travel with. And it helps make me feel like I've done something healthy for myself, which sets the pace for the day. Honestly, if I've gotten in a workout, I'm way more likely to make healthy choices down the road as the day unfolds, because I'm like, you know what, I put all that work in this morning. I don't want to blow that. So it's a good way to just set the pace. Also, just get your blood flowing and not end up so stiff and gross feeling at the end of a long car trip or a flight. If you cannot, or even if you can, getting in little bouts of exercise along the road is huge. So stopping just not on the side of the road, that's dangerous. Get off somewhere, rest stop, and even just like open your door, hold on to the door handle or the edge of the door and do like 40 alternating lunges, do some push-ups against your seat, maybe some dips against the seat, some jumping jacks. Just get moving. Give yourself like 3-5 minutes of a little workout, and try stopping every hour or so. And same on a airplane. And this does feel a little bit harder because you've got that bulkhead and it's not very big and there's usually people there. So I don't usually work out on an airplane, kind of for that reason. I don't want to be that wackadoo lady who's just like pissing everybody off, jumping around. And I'm not like a huge advocate of like seat workouts. And I know you can find some on Pinterest. They have like airplane seat workouts. I don't know. I just don't feel like that. Like, you know me, I'm an advocate for squeezing in your workouts wherever you can. And maybe on a long flight, yeah, that's probably really good to Europe. Something where you can get something in, work on your posture. But on like a 5-6 hour flight across the country, I think you can skip it. That's just me. But again, it is good to keep that blood flow. So standing up, and that's where the hydration comes in. So it is good to pee, actually. So get up, walk around, move. I know it's annoying, but it is a good way to get yourself moving, get the blood flowing, and just make sure that every once in a while you assess your posture. How am I sitting? Especially when you're driving. You don't want your knees rolled in and your feet kind of out like this, so your hips are kind of like that. You want to have your knees right over your ankles. Same with having your knees totally apart and your feet coming in toward the pedals. That also puts a lot of pressure. Imagine those ball and socket joints just kind of sitting in this position that they're not usually in, like super wide, like man spread. That's not good for the hips. It's not good for the lower back. So that's another good one that you're going to want to think about as you drive. I think about it a lot. I'm often like leaning over here. I've got like my man spread going on, and just like reminding myself, straighten out my hips, sit up a little bit straighter. It's always a good way to end the day. And I do feel it when I don't think about that. The next day, my back is usually hurting a ton. It's a little easier to sit straight on an airplane, but still worth considering what your posture is doing every so often and adjusting it. So then we get to like being away, like say you're at a work conference. And I get this a lot because I have a lot of traveling moms who are, executives, and they're traveling to conferences and in meetings all day. Where do I eat? And then everybody goes out for lunch and they have these huge meals. and they're starving, so they order whatever. And it's really hard. Those types of things are really hard. And often at those conferences, a big conference, they have like food on site, and it's usually just like, not only is it bad for you, but it's like gross, and you don't even really want to be eating like the stale French roll and the like small slice of turkey and the mayonnaise or whatever's in there, wilty lettuce. Can you tell I've had those before? It's always a disappointment. So you're going to want to bring your own food and make a plan. So like, what are you doing? Like, sit down, and even if you don't really have a full understanding of what your day is going to look like, at least plan out where you can be in control. Okay, I've got these nuts, I can pack them in my purse. I've got these bars, I've got this water bottle, I have these protein shakes. Between those, I can stay pretty okay all day without feeling like I want to cry. And then I can treat myself to like a nice, hot, relatively healthy meal at the end of the day and not feel like I just went all day eating Reese's peanut butter cups and bags of chips, because that's what's at a lot of these things. Maybe like those bright red apples that are kind of mushy. Those are often there, or like, what's one I see a lot? Like granola bars, but that aren't really healthy granola bars. So bring your own stuff, make a plan, and just kind of think about what your day is going to look like, so that you can feel a little bit more in control. And then working out is hard, especially on work vacations, or for example, going to this wedding. I'm going to be with my child. I'm there to see family. I'm not going to be like, hey guys, I got to work out. No, I'm there. I made this trip to see them, and I'm not going to take time away from the family that I never see to get in my workouts. So I'll bring my resistance band, and maybe in the morning while the kiddo is waking up and watching a little TV, I'll do like a little 10-minute workout in the hotel room. If you're traveling alone, a lot of hotels have a little gym. You can head down there. I often just, even if I'm alone, do my workout in my hotel room, because it's nice to just like watch some TV and stay in my underwear and work out. So have a plan, have an idea of what you can do. Don't be bummed if you can't get to it. It's just a few days usually. And if it's longer, then you can take that time and you can make those dedicated efforts to work out and say, hey, Grandma, can you watch the kids while I go for a quick walk with my other girlfriend who I haven't seen forever? Or, and that's the other thing. Turn some of those things. Maybe you can turn meetings into walking meetings. You can turn meetups into like, let's go get coffee and go for a walk. We can go to a park with the kids and we can walk around while the kids maybe, play in the sandbox. Or we could even do, if you have a good enough friend or if you're alone, you can do a little workout on the playground, which is what I like to do. I'm always a little self-conscious of it, but you know what? There's no shame. I'm getting it in. I'm getting my workout in. I was just talking to a mom I met yesterday at preschool, and I was there to work out, and the kids started playing, and I started doing my workout while I talked to her, and I was like, sorry, I just had this plan. This is the only time I'm sneaking in. And she was like, no, you go for it. And she just stood there and kept talking to me, and she was awesome. So I think I made a new friend, and it wasn't as awkward as it could have been, and I maybe felt like it would have been, but I sucked it up and did it, and it was not actually awkward at all. So that's just to say, nobody really cares if you're working out at the playground, even if you feel a little ridiculous when you're doing it. Let's see. All right. So when you're visiting family, often there are like big dinners planned, or even like when you're away on a work trip, there's like nights out with clients or whatever. And it's okay to look forward to those. Like, oh, I haven't been to this restaurant forever. I used to go there all the time as a kid. I want to get that thing that I always used to get. That's fine. So just make sure that's part of your plan, right? So that you are saying, okay, maybe I won't go to the ice cream place that I used to go to and the dinner place all on the same day. Maybe we'll spread those out. Like, come up with a little plan that feels good to you so that you can feel like you're in control and not just getting carted from one thing to the next. And if somebody else is in control of the schedule and they're planning these things, just work on portion control and ask if you can go, you guys want to go for a walk in between ice cream and the Italian place. You have ways that you can help yourself feel a little bit more in control of your healthy choices. Grab a small thing of ice cream and then grab a small portion of the spaghetti. You can do that. It doesn't have to be huge just because you haven't been there for 20 years. So that's another good one for when you're out at the place, wherever you're going. Just keep in mind, I can do this. I want to be in control of the choices. So it doesn't really matter if you feel like you're making the best choices all the time, as long as you feel like you're getting to make a choice and you're not just kind of letting it go and saying, well, I'll just catch up when I'm back, because that's not going to feel good in the moment, and it's not going to feel good when you get back. Which leads me to the next point. When you return from vacation, vacations are a really great way, or a trip, and vacations. When you return from a trip, it's a really great time to fall off the wagon, because sometimes you even like maintained it during your trip, even if it wasn't like totally stellar. And then you get back and you're like, okay, now I'm just like in it, and I have all this laundry I still have to unpack, and I have all these other things to do, and I have to catch up on work, and so many other things that start to take a priority, that healthy routine you had established isn't there for you anymore. And it's not your priority because you're saying, I have to do the laundry first. I have to unpack. I have to get this work done. So my advice there for you is to say, nope, my routine is the priority. It will help with all these other things that I need to do. It's going to push those things back a little bit, but I need to stay on top of my routine. And now is the time to really go for it. So if you'd been waking up early to get work done or to get in a workout, do that again. Try not to sleep in because maybe you're jet lagged, or because you want to, because you haven't been waking up early on your trip. Get back to your routine, whatever was working for you before, as quickly and as simply as possible. So for me, that would be making sure that after I drop off the kids, I do a little workout, and I eat my breakfast, hopefully before I drop the kids off. Those are things that I can easily kind of like push off, and I'm like, okay, I have to do this. I'll do some laundry because the kids are eating their breakfast and I finish their lunches, and instead of feed myself, I do that. And then later on in the morning, I'm way too hangry and I start making bad choices, and then I'm too tired and exhausted to get in that workout, and oftentimes I'll just say, you know what, I have too much work to do. I'm going to do the work first and then I'll work out, and then of course I don't work out. So for me, it's really understanding that process and saying, I have to stick to the routine that I know works. I can't start thinking that I can manipulate it now. So returning from your trip is like just as important as prepping for and going away on it. Really be mindful of that return and what your strategy is for getting back into the healthy routine that you had established before. Yeah, I kind of busted through this one, but that's because nobody's here talking to me. So let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully some people watch this. This one is really huge. It's a really key. I know that we have a lot of stay-at-home moms, and we have a lot of working moms. And for all types of moms, these are all really great tips, no matter what it is coming at you. Even if it's not travel per se, something can throw you off. People coming into town to visit, deadlines getting pushed at work, routines get interrupted, and we need a strategy in place to help feel like we are remaining in control. And that's not to say that we are control freaks. This isn't about feeling like we need everything to be exactly right and perfect all the time. If you've worked with me, you know that that's not how we roll. We actually are very much into trying to go with the flow of things and adapt and adjust. And that's part of it, right? Is anybody can follow a template of what to do to live a healthy life. There's a lot of information out there. There are apps, there are blogs, there's so much that tells you kind of exactly what you need to do to live a healthy lifestyle. But to make it work for you, to make it sustainable, and to make it something that feels really good to be doing, you really need to go from the inside out and start with your mindset and start with picking and choosing and really being mindful of what works for you. So that's what this is about, and I hope that these travel tips help you. They were just on the top of my mind as I'm heading out tomorrow, and I was speaking to like a really awesome company that has, and I'll post the link here soon. I just can't, she hasn't sent it to me yet. But I was speaking to a really awesome company that's kind of like Postmates for moms traveling with kids, so that you don't have to bring all the stuff, and you can rent all these, you know, the high chairs and the pack and play and the, you know, really nice quality car seats, so you don't have to lug everything back and forth. Or if you forget something, which I do all the time, like maybe they have those okay to wake alarm clocks, you can rent them, and you're not just buying stuff willy-nilly and then you have like 3 okay to wake alarm clocks like we do, because I keep having to rebuy them. Okay, so those are my tips, and I'll send you the link to that cool app, I think it is, I don't know, website, when I find it. She's supposed to email me today. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything specific that you find that I didn't touch on when you travel that you have trouble with, let me know, or anything that I didn't mention here, or anything that I said here that you don't like, let me know. I want to hear about it. This is all about finding what works for everybody, and I can give you my best advice, but I know that sometimes it's not what works for everybody. So post your ideas here. Let me know if you have questions, and I hope you're having a great Wednesday. And that's it. All right, signing off. Talk to you guys later. Bye.